Fantastic. When I was 17 years old, I wanted to change the world for Jesus. I wanted to travel, I wanted to preach, I wanted to set up schools, orphanages, I wanted to do stuff. And not only did it involve money, but more important than money is time. You've got it. So I realised that I needed to become free from a job. Free so I had time to do what I wanted to do. Yes, that needed money, but it also needed time. I didn't have the time at the time. And I speak to a lot of people, they've got burning passions and desires to do things, and yeah, they don't have the money. But you know what? It doesn't really involve that much money. It needs a lot of time. And we have things that hold us back, namely jobs. Yes? Someone once said that job stands for jump out of bed on a journey of boredom to be just over broke. Yeah. So, I set out on a mission to become financially free, meaning I don't have to work anymore. When I tell people that I was completely financially free by age 21, some people get the wrong end of the stick. Someone came up to me last week, I was at a seminar, I just spoke, and they said, "Oh, going back on your jet then?" And I was like, "What? I'm not like stinking rich, I haven't got loads of money in the bank, I'm just free from a job. That's it." So, let me define to you what financial freedom is. Would that be okay? Yeah. Okay, financial freedom is dead simple. Financial freedom, there's a formula for it, and this is it. It's when your passive income is equal to or greater than, I remembered at school, when your passive income is equal to or greater than your living expenses, you're financially free. Now, they don't teach you about passive income at school. There's two types of income. There's active income, there's passive income. Active income is where you work once and you get paid once. That's how we're told, that's how we're programmed. We work once, we get paid once. Passive income is when you work once or you do something once and you get paid again and again and again and again and again. Passive income, forever. There's lots of different ways to create passive income streams, but we don't learn them in school. When you're a kid and you want something, your parents don't say, "Well, go earn some passive income." You don't hear that. We don't hear about it. So passive income is where you work once, you get paid forever. So, the definition of ultimately financially free is where your passive income is equal to or greater than your desired lifestyle. So, I don't know, maybe your lifestyle might currently be £3,000 a month. You'd love it if it was £10,000 a month. That would give you the life you really wanted. To become financially free, you need £3,000 every month in passive income. To be ultimately financially free, you need £10,000 passive income per month. Make sense? Sure. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to teach you the 3 steps to becoming completely financially free. It's dead easy, and I did it in 4 years, based on what I know now. Would you like to learn? Yeah. Fantastic. You're in the right room. Okay, well, think about this. In order to become financially free, your passive income needs to be equal to or greater than your expenses. Now, the first step to financial freedom, you could literally leave this room 50% closer to financial freedom than when you walked in. I've had that happen, where I've done this seminar and people have walked away 50% closer to financial freedom than when they came in. Would you like to know what the first step is? Yeah. Would you like to know what it is?
Yeah.
Fantastic. The first step is you need to simplify your expenses. This is not rocket science, this is easy stuff. It's easy stuff that will give you freedom to do what you want. I know some of you guys here have got big hearts, big dreams, and it's dead easy to achieve them. I'm going to teach you right now. So the first thing is to simplify your expenses, which means that if currently your expenses are £3,000, maybe, just maybe, you could reduce them to £2,000. I'm not talking about forever. I'm talking about for a time. It's called delayed gratification. So, I'm not going to get into this now, but if I was doing the full workshop, what I would do right now is I would get you to write down what your expenses are. You might not know what they are, you might know exactly what they are. Usually, they're a tiny bit more than your income. So, and have you noticed that the more money you get as your income goes up, suddenly cost of living goes up? I sat down with my brother in the restaurant a few weeks ago, and he laughed because I genuinely said, "Is it just me or is cost of living getting a bit cheaper?" Because when you do these steps, that's how life appears. So, first step is to simplify your expenses. So you need to write down exactly what your expenses are, and then you need to simplify them. Dead straightforward. Do you really need to take... Sorry, Caddy, do you really need to take those expensive holidays? Yeah, that's true. Do you really need, 2, 3 cars? Do you need that car? Do you need that house? Do you need that lifestyle? Or can you simplify it for a time in order to get freedom? I said this to my dad about 3 years ago when I was on the way to, I was kind of about 21, 22, become financially free, absolutely full of it. And I was like, hey, you need to simplify expenses, Dad. And he said, son, you don't understand what it's like when you've got kids and this and that. I can't simplify my expenses. I've not got enough month at the end of the money. And I said, oh, all right, fair enough. And then, about 2 years ago, he emigrated to Brazil. And he had to close his bank account. And something very incredible happened. When he closed his bank account, he realised he had quite a lot of standing orders and direct debits leaving his account every month. Didn't know what they were. He was like, what's this? What's this? Oh, this gym membership from 3 years ago. I've not been to the gym in, ever. This online subscription, what the heck's this? This dating agency 10 years before I was married. These are subscriptions and online things. And I thought, oh, wow, what a sucker. But then I realised that was actually the case for most people. Probably a lot of you guys in the room today have got direct debits leaving your account that you don't even know what they are. Well, all you need to do is just go onto your online banking, click on direct debits, look through, and decide which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to cancel, closer to financial freedom. Simplify your expenditures as much as you can. Delayed gratification. And if you drop it from 3,000 to 2,000, you're 33% closer to financial freedom right away. Which is why I say to you that you can leave the room 50% closer potentially. Next, in order to become financially free, you need to manage your money properly. Who was here on Wednesday last week at Training Kings? One person. Okay, cool. I did an in-depth talk about how to manage your money. I'm going to sum it up right now in just a few minutes to you guys. This will blow your mind. It blew my mind. It's so easy, but it's so awesome. Okay. When you get paid, you want to have separate bank accounts, okay? Most people have got maybe 2, maybe 3 bank accounts. They might have a savings account and then a current account. Is that fair to say? Yeah. I've got 14 bank accounts. And yeah, I've got 14 bank accounts. And not because I thought that was a good idea, but because I was taught to do that by people that were very, very wealthy. And I realised that most wealthy people or financially free people have got multiple bank accounts. Now, here's the first method I was taught, and it sounded great, and I'll tell you guys the way for you to get started. Is that okay? Yep. Great. When you get paid, here's how it look. You're going to have 6 bank accounts to start with. You're going to have 1 bank account, which is your necessities. Okay? Now, your necessities is going to be your food, your mortgage payments or your rent, your car, petrol, just a general living costs that you just have to spend to live. Okay? 50% of your wage is going to go towards your necessities. If you haven't got a wage because you're self-employed, give yourself a wage. Serious, you need to give yourself a wage. That's a whole other talk. So, 50% of your wage is going to go towards your necessities. That's 1 bank. 10% is going to go towards your savings. Alright, we'll get there. It's going to go towards your savings. Saving up for a new car, a new house, a holiday. 10% of your money needs to go towards savings. 3rd bank account. It's dead easy because they're all 10% after 50%. 6. 3rd bank account. 10% is going to go towards your play account. Yeah. Now, although I'm talking about simplify your expenditures, you do need a small play account. Now, you can play around with these percentages if you like, because some people say, well, 50% necessities, I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to do it. Fine. 90% necessities. It's the discipline of doing this. You can play around as much as you want with the percentages and change it as time goes on. You need to do this. Play account. Now, your play account is money that you blow. You have a pot each month, 10% of your money or X amount % of your money goes into this pot, which is called your play account, and you're going to waste it. You're going to spend it on crazy stuff that just makes you feel really good. Now, some people in the room might not like doing that because they might feel like, I don't know, oh no, That's a bit, I don't know, you just might not want to do it. Some people might want to spend 50% on play. You need to spend 10% on play. Do you want to know why? Yeah? Okay, yeah, it's a good feeling. But there's more to it than that. I take it you're the spender and perhaps you're the saver. Oh, really? Okay. The reason you need to do it is because... Great. Anyway, back to the presentation. The reason is because if you don't have a pot where you spend it and you blow it, what you'll do is you'll end up being very tight and hoarding stuff and being very tight, and you'll end up resenting yourself and you will rebel. It might be a year, it might be 2 years, it might be 3 years, but if you've not spent any money on just crazy stuff and play stuff, you'll end up just blowing it and think, oh, I deserve it, you know? My dad was really good at this. He'd be really tight and he'd be like, nope, not buying an ice cream on the way home, and we'd all have our mouths dried up. Nope, I'm saving the pennies, and then after a couple of years he'd buy a really extravagant, crazy thing, and you'd think, well, how many ice creams is that? Well, I deserve it. You need a pot. Secondly, it makes you feel wealthy. If you have a pot where you can just blow on massages and crazy stuff, it makes you come from a position of abundance. If you want to become financially free, if you want to get wealthy, you need to come from a position of abundance, not poverty. So you need but it needs to be allocated. It needs to be contained in a small way so you don't go crazy. Okay? So, necessities. Second one was... And third one was... Fourth one is financial freedom account. This is the beautiful one. Financial freedom account, that's going to go towards investments, properties, stocks and shares, vending machines that earns you passive income, whatever it is, it's going to go towards your passive income streams. You need that in order to become financially free. You might think, well, I wouldn't know what to spend it on. That's why the next pot, 10% goes towards education. The more you learn, the more you... We've been doing this stuff today. So if you're spending money on educating yourself, you've got an allocated pot for financial freedom, you've got an allocated pot for play. Serious, this will make you financially free. This point alone will. Next is the sixth account, which is your tithe, your give account. This is crucial for many, many reasons. Again, I could do a whole session on this, but you know, we're on this earth for a reason, and people that say, I can't really afford to tithe right now, but when I'm a bit more wealthy, then I will. No, you won't. If you're not doing it now, you'll never do it. So, yeah, start now. I'm sure pretty much all of you are given 10% minimum, but yeah, keep doing that. It's really important. And also, it's coming from a position of abundance. And how can we expect to be blessed when we don't bless others, yeah? So, necessities, 50%. Second pot is... Savings. Third pot is, fourth pot is, fifth pot is, and sixth pot is. There was 2 education pots there, but oh well. Exactly. Now, I heard this principle about 6-7 years ago and said, oh, that's great, I'm going to do that. And guess what I did? Nothing. I didn't do it. I heard it again about 6 months later at a seminar, same sort of principle. And I thought, that's really good. I already know that. I know that. But I wasn't doing it. And if you're not doing it, then you don't really know it. It was about 5 times before I actually said, all right, I'm going to do it, and did it. And it revolutionised my finances. So yes, first step to financial freedom is simplify your expenditures, then start managing what you've got. The Bible says that if we're faithful and trustworthy with a little, then we will be with a lot. And if we're not managing our money properly like this, then it's just not going to have financial freedom. Forget it, it's not going to happen. With me so far? Yeah. Fantastic. Learning? Yeah. Brilliant. Third step to financial freedom, you can probably guess it. It's quite self-explanatory. It goes back to sort of what I was talking about, passive and active income. Third step is create passive income streams. Think passive, not active. So start thinking about ways to create passive income. Property is the pretty much where all my passive income comes from. Property investments. There are many, many other ways. I personally think property is probably the best, hence why I run property workshops. Has anyone been on a property workshop? And someone at random, what would you give it out of 10? Debbie? Martin? Dave? Derek? It's absolutely amazing. If you want to learn about property, if you want to be able to invest in property, I have got a workshop which is pretty much sold out on the 3rd of June, straight after a Training Kings meeting. Speak to me about that and I can tell you a bit more about that.